mega jump is a challenging 4D game where you calculate your jumps to make it to the top. Every jump is a risk, so it's important that the jumping feels consistent and epic. When I made the original jumping mechanic for the first game, I had zero clue what I was doing and how to do anything correctly, so it just felt off. However, now that I'm working in Unreal with some experience from building the game from the ground up in Unity, I tried really hard making the jump mechanic feel good. This is how I made the Unreal version. First point of action: create a charging mechanic for the jump. Second task: use a charged value to calculate the jump curve. Thirdly, make a makeshift bar to show the charge percent. I might make it so you can disable this in the future for example a hard mode or something. As you can see now, I implemented the mechanic to modify the default character in the third person template, and it works. You can charge up the bar and it jumps differently depending on how much you charge. While the jump mechanic works as it is right now, I want to implement some more elements from the original Mega Jump that I made in Unity to make it more punishable. So I want to remove the ability for the player to control their character at all when they're in the air. To make it high risk, high reward. It is a 4D game after all. Luckily this is a very super easy fix, very super easy. Just a couple parameters to change in the character controller components from Unreal, and we just make the rotation rate 0 when you're not on the ground. As you can see now, we have a pretty poggers jumping mechanic that feels surprisingly nice and consistent. If I were to pick between this jumping mechanic and a bucket of cream, I think I would pick the cream still, but that will change once we implement bouncing. For the bouncing, we need to establish some ground rules. In the original game, since I was really bad at programming, I could not figure out how to apply the bouncing momentum after doing certain tasks. And I would get around certain soft looking bugs, which are still in the game by the way, by designing maps in ways so it's very hard to execute said bugs. Very good way to fix it. So I want to make this system work well from the start, instead of having to patch it up later stages when compile times are really long. My way to solving this issue is to check for collisions in front of the character so I can calculate a direction from the center of the character to the wall. Once I do this, I do some math magic to get a reflection vector of the impact direction. And I apply that force to the character and send the player in that direction. When this is done, the character goes flying with the current velocity from the charged jump. And as you can see now, it doesn't matter how shallow or steep the angle to the wall is. You bounce every time. You can bounce on multiple walls after each other, and your character is completely locked. I took my model from the original game, however the skeleton I used is very unoptimized and ad hoc, as the boomers would say, so I imported the model to Mixamo to get a proper rig. This also allows me to use their animations as temporary stand-ins until I make my own animations to polish the game. So now, as you can see, we have Mr. Mega running around as a lunatic, jumping and bouncing. This is the point where I pick mechanics over the cream. Thank you all for watching my first devlog. I don't really know how to do the other ones, but I will update more with features and stuff. I don't think I will make as long devlogs in the future. It's like primarily the introductory one, where I make the base mechanics and I can build upon that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe to watch more devlogs. I will try to make